Welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah.
You ready to dig into some more fascinating trends shaping the future?
Always.
Today, it is all about offices.
Hmm.
We're going to be looking at the 2024 Match Office Industry Survey.
Okay.
It's a global survey, looks at workspace providers,
Yeah.
how they're navigating this,
Yeah.
post-pandemic world.
What's a pandemic?
Yeah, and I got to say, one stat that really jumped out at me,
Okay.
7 out of 10
Wow.
European office providers say that AI
Mm-hmm.
is already impacting their daily operations.
Interesting.
That's not just,
Right.
putting in a smart thermostat or something like
No, I
that.
know. It's much more fundamental than that.
Yeah, it seems like a real fundamental shift.
Yeah. I think what we're seeing is
Yeah.
it's a real challenge for landlords these days
Okay.
to convince businesses, to pay for space when
Yeah,
work from home is still very much
right.
a viable option for a lot of companies.
So it's not just about, free kombucha and foosball table.
Exactly.
What are we seeing? What are they doing to try to...
So the survey uses this phrase,
Okay.
holistic design.
Okay.
And that's really what we're seeing. They're trying to create a whole ecosystem
Okay.
encompassing everything from flexible workspaces that adapt to different tasks
Okay.
to high-end design to prioritizing employee well-being.
I see.
It's kind of like this idea of workplace as a service.
Okay.
It's about catering to the employee's entire experience.
So when I hear holistic design, I think of you see those ads? There's
Yeah.
like tech company ads where they've got
Yeah.
pod chairs and living walls and all this cool stuff.
It is more than just trendy furniture.
Okay.
It's about creating a workspace that seamlessly integrates technology that can help you transition
Me too.
between individual-focused work
Okay.
and then collaborative brainstorming sessions. And then you add in biophilic design elements,
Okay.
like living walls, natural light, things that studies have shown
Yeah.
can actually reduce stress and boost creativity.
So it's not just looking nice.
Exactly.
It's actually meant to improve
Yeah,
how people work.
absolutely.
Now, where does AI fit into this?
You're right.
Is it just
Yeah.
a fancy buzzword?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it really changing how offices operate?
AI is definitely more than just,
Okay.
replacing your office manager with a robot.
Okay.
The survey highlights
Yeah.
how AI is being used to optimize space utilization.
Okay.
For example, imagine an AI system
Okay.
that analyzes how meeting rooms are used
Mm-hmm.
and finds that most of the time they're only booked for a couple of people.
Okay.
And so then it suggests more efficient booking practices.
Right.
Maybe even recommends different spaces altogether.
Okay.
The Match Office CEO actually suggested that AI-driven space optimization could save businesses, on average, a significant amount
Really?
in real estate costs.
That's huge, especially when office
Yeah.
space is so expensive.
Exactly.
I'm guessing that kind of efficiency appeals to both
Of course.
landlords and the companies.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, win-win.
But AI's role doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Imagine this.
Yeah.
You walk into your office, the AI, based on your schedule and your preferences,
Okay.
suggests that you use a quiet focus booth
Okay.
for your morning tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And then later, it automatically reserves
Okay.
a collaborative space for your team meeting.
All right.
This level of personalization
Yeah.
is where things get really interesting.
It's like
It's like having a digital concierge for your workday.
okay, but that also sounds
Right.
a little creepy, right?
Well,
An AI that knows my schedule better than I do.
yeah.
It's a little Big Brother-ish, I think.
You've hit a crucial point,
Okay.
and the survey does acknowledge this. While nearly a third of U.S. office providers report that AI is having a remarkable impact,
Yeah.
there's still a significant portion who haven't fully embraced it.
Right.
And implementing this technology does raise questions
Yeah,
about data privacy
for sure.
and how much control employees have
Right.
over their work environment.
So it's not all sunshine and roses.
It's not a perfect solution.
There are some genuine concerns
Absolutely.
along with all this innovation.
The survey doesn't provide all the answers,
Okay.
but it does highlight a key tension point,
All right.
in the future of offices.
Yeah.
Finding the right balance
Okay.
between leveraging AI's potential
Mm-hmm.
and ensuring that it doesn't create a workplace
Right.
that feels intrusive or dehumanizing.
I see.
That balance will be key
Yeah.
to getting employees on board with all these changes.
You can have the coolest office in the world,
Exactly.
but if your employees feel like
Right.
they're constantly being monitored, it's going to backfire. That human element is
Yes.
still so important,
Very important.
even with all this technology.
It is. And it brings us to another interesting trend
Okay.
that the survey highlights, which is the growing difference
Okay.
in how various regions are adopting AI.
Okay.
Europe is lagging behind the U.S. Only 23% of landlords report that AI is having a considerable impact there.
Right.
But then on the other hand, Asia is surging ahead.
Okay.
Almost half of landlords are already seeing a high impact
Interesting.
from AI implementation.
I wonder why there's such a gap.
That's a great question.
Maybe it's cultural differences around
Yeah, could be.
technology and data privacy, or maybe the types of businesses operating in each region.
Could be a lot of factors.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's driving those different adoption rates.
It's a complex question with no easy answers.
Okay.
But it points to the bigger picture, which is that AI's impact on office design. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. It's going to play out differently in different parts of the world. And that variation itself is something worth exploring further.
Yeah, it's like we're seeing different visions of the future of work emerge in different regions. But the key takeaway here is that the future of workspaces is clearly being shaped by AI.
Absolutely.
Whether we're fully on board with it or not.
And that raises another question.
Okay.
If AI could design your ideal workspace, what would it look like?
That's a great question.
What would be the non-negotiables for you?
That is a great question, and it's one that we'll be exploring more as we continue this deep dive into the evolving world of offices.
I can't wait.
Stay tuned as we unpack more of the Match Office Industry Survey's findings.
More to come.
Yeah, much more to come. So we've been talking a lot about AI and all this like futuristic stuff.
Yeah.
But what about the people who are actually using these spaces?
Exactly.
Do employees feel like they're living in a sci-fi movie, or are they hesitant about all this change?
Well, the human element is absolutely crucial.
Okay.
You know, and this is where things get really nuanced.
All right.
While some employees might be excited about personalized work experiences, AI assistants that can handle tedious tasks, others might feel a sense of unease about data privacy, or the idea of being constantly monitored.
It's that fine line between cool tech feeling like you're always being watched.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
And the survey touches on this tension.
Okay.
It highlights how crucial transparency is and clear communication from companies.
Okay.
You know, if employees understand how the AI is being used, if they feel like they have some control over their data and their environment, they're more likely to see it as a helpful tool rather than a threat.
So instead of just like installing the latest gadgets, companies need to think about how to integrate AI in a way that respects employee privacy and autonomy.
That's where the concept of holistic design comes back in.
Okay.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's about creating a workspace that caters to different work styles, different needs, even with AI in the mix. Some people might love having an AI curate their workday. Others might prefer a more traditional approach.
So maybe it's about having options.
Exactly.
Having flexibility.
Yes.
Instead of forcing everyone into the same AI-powered mold.
Yeah.
Offices should offer a variety of spaces and technologies that cater to different preferences.
Imagine a workspace with designated quiet zones, free from AI integration, for those who need to disconnect and focus, alongside high-tech collaboration zones, where AI can help facilitate brainstorming, knowledge sharing.
So you're picturing like a mix of those old school library vibes.
Exactly.
For focused work. And then you step into a futuristic command center. For collaborative projects.
Exactly.
That sounds kind of awesome.
It's about variety and choice. And the survey data does suggest a move towards more flexible workspaces. Think like modular furniture. That can be reconfigured on the fly, hot desking areas for remote workers, even outdoor spaces designed for work and relaxation. It's about creating a dynamic environment that can adapt to different needs throughout the day and week.
So the office becomes a kind of Swiss Army knife
Right.
of workspaces
Yeah.
catering to every task
Exactly.
and personality type.
And this ties into another crucial aspect of holistic design,
Right.
employee well-being.
Right.
The survey highlights this growing emphasis on incorporating natural light, comfortable furniture, even biophilic elements like indoor plants and water features.
So it's like bringing the outdoors inside.
Exactly.
Which I've definitely noticed that trend in newer offices.
And it's not just about aesthetics. There's a growing body of research that suggests these elements can actually impact employee stress levels, interesting, creativity, even job satisfaction.
So it's not just about being trendy.
Right.
It's about creating a workplace where people actually feel good.
Exactly.
And can do their best work.
When you combine that focus on well-being with the flexibility and the personalized experiences enabled by AI, you start to get a glimpse of what the future of offices could look like. It's not about replacing human connection. Right?
With technology, it's about using technology to enhance the human experience at work.
This all sounds incredibly promising.
Right.
But I can't help but wonder how these changes are impacting company culture. If people are coming into the office less frequently, does that mean the end of water cooler conversations?
Good question.
Team bonding?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
And it's something that companies are grappling with as they navigate this shift towards hybrid work models. The office isn't going away.
All right.
But its role is definitely changing. It's becoming less about a place where everyone goes every day and more about a destination for collaboration, connection, those serendipitous encounters that can spark innovation.
So it's about creating a space
Exactly.
that draws people in.
Yeah.
Not just the place they feel obligated to show up at. It's about making the office a valuable part of the employee experience, even for those who primarily work remotely.
You can't replicate those spontaneous brainstorms or those casual connections that happen in a shared physical space.
So what are companies doing?
Yeah, what are they doing?
To foster that sense of community and culture in this new hybrid world, a lot of companies are getting creative. The survey mentions companies organizing regular in-person team-building activities. Like workshops, social events, even volunteer outings. They're also leveraging technology to facilitate virtual collaboration and communication. Some are even redesigning their office spaces to include more communal areas, social heims, specifically for these types of interactions.
So it's about being intentional.
Exactly.
About creating those opportunities for connection.
Yes.
Whether it's in person or online.
It's about recognizing that company culture doesn't just magically happen. It needs to be nurtured and supported. Even when people aren't physically together every day.
It sounds like there's a lot of trial and error happening.
It is.
As companies figure out what works best. But it's exciting to see them embracing this challenge.
Absolutely.
And finding new ways. To build a strong company culture in a hybrid world.
And this experimentation ties into another key finding from the survey, the growing optimism among office providers, especially in the U.S. Remember that statistic we mentioned earlier that over 52% of respondents expressed a positive outlook for the future? It seems like the initial panic about the death of the office has subsided. And there's a growing recognition that the office still has a vital role to play.
It's interesting, though, that while over half are optimistic, that still leaves a significant portion who are either unsure or not optimistic. The survey doesn't really explore why that split exists. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a great observation.
Okay.
And it speaks to the fact that the future of workspaces is still very much in flux.
Okay.
There are a lot of unknowns.
Yeah.
And different companies and regions are approaching this transition in different ways.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution. And I think that's what's contributing to both the optimism and the uncertainty.
Right.
Some see this as a time of incredible opportunity and innovation.
Yeah.
While others are still trying to figure out how to adapt what their role will be in this new landscape.
That makes sense.
Right.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads.
Yeah.
And we can either be excited about the possibilities.
Yeah.
or terrified of the unknown.
Right?
Maybe a bit of both.
A little bit of both, probably.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
But the survey does offer some clues
Okay.
as to what's driving this renewed sense of optimism.
Right.
One factor seems to be the stabilization of occupancy and rental levels compared to 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that mass exodus from offices during the height of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like things are finally settling down.
So it seems like all the doom and gloom predictions about the death of the office were a little premature.
Yeah, a little bit overblown.
People are going back.
They are.
At least to some extent.
To some extent.
But the question is, are they willing to pay the same high prices
Yeah.
for office space,
Mm-hmm.
especially when so many people are still working from home?
Right.
At least part of the time.
And the survey data actually offers some interesting insights on that. Nearly half of the European office providers surveyed predict that they'll be able to raise their rental prices in 2024.
That's surprising.
It is a little bit surprising.
You'd think with the rise of remote work,
you would think so.
Demand for office space would go down?
Yeah, less demand.
Not up.
But it seems like the equation has shifted.
Okay.
Offices that can offer those holistic design elements we've been talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The flexibility, the technology integration,
the
focus on well-being. Those are in high demand.
All right.
They're not just selling square footage anymore. They're selling an experience, a curated environment that's designed to enhance productivity.
Okay.
Attract top talent.
That makes sense.
Right.
If you're a company and you want to compete for the best employees,
you gotta offer them something.
Yeah, you got to offer them some.
They can't get it home.
They can't get it home. Exactly.
A basic desk and a coffee machine.
Yeah. It's not cutting it.
Just not going to cut it anymore.
Not anymore. Companies are realizing that the office needs to be a destination.
Okay.
A place where people want to be.
Right.
Not just where they feel obligated to go.
I see.
And that shift in thinking is reflected in the data.
Right.
Match Office CEO actually pointed out that the most successful office providers are the ones who are embracing this new paradigm. Who are actively investing in technology, design, amenities that cater to the evolving needs of businesses and their employees.
It's like we're seeing a new generation of offices emerge.
A new generation.
Smarter, more flexible.
More human-centric.
More human-centric, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty exciting time.
It is.
To be in the commercial real estate game, wouldn't you say?
I think so, definitely.
And this transformation goes beyond just the physical space itself.
It's about rethinking the very nature of work.
Absolutely.
How we collaborate, how we innovate.
How we balance individual needs with collective goals.
It's been a fascinating deep dive.
It has been.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah.
From the nuts and bolts of AI applications to the broader implications for employee experience.
Absolutely.
Company culture.
The human side of things.
Yeah. So as we wrap things up, what are the key takeaways you want our listener to walk away with?
Well, first and foremost, the office isn't going anywhere. But it is undergoing a radical transformation.
Right.
We're moving away from static one-size-fits-all workspaces to these dynamic environments that adapt to different needs and preferences. Technology, especially AI, is playing a pivotal role in this evolution. But it's not just about throwing tech at the problem. It's about using it thoughtfully and intentionally to create spaces that enhance human connection, productivity, and well-being.
Finding that sweet spot.
Exactly.
Between innovation and humanity.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, it's about creating a future of work that is both productive and fulfilling.
I like that.
Yeah. And before we sign off, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
All right.
We talked about AI designing your ideal workspace.
Right.
But I want to take that a step further.
Okay.
Imagine you could design the future of work itself.
Wow.
How would you structure the workday?
That's a big one.
What role would the office play?
Yeah.
What technologies would you embrace or reject?
It's a big question.
It's a big question.
But it's one worth pondering.
It is a question worth pondering.
As we navigate this uncharted territory.
It is uncharted territory, that's for sure.
It really is.
It's a question with no easy answers.
No.
But it's one we all need to be asking ourselves.
We do.
The future of work isn't something
that's being done to us. It's not. It's something we're all creating together. We are. And the more informed and engaged we are in this process, the better the outcome will be.
I agree with that.
If you want to delve a little deeper into the trends shaping the future of workspaces, we encourage you to check out the full Match Office Industry Survey.
Lots of great insights there.
It's a treasure trove of insights.
It is.
That will leave you both informed and inspired.
Informed and inspired.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
For another fascinating exploration of the trends.
Looking forward to it.
Shaping our world.
See you then.